Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another music reaction. Okay, so it's been a little while for me since I had the chance to sit down and film a few reactions at once. If you guys have been following along either on my Patreon or the community tab on my YouTube, and if you're not, you should follow the community tab on my YouTube and read the posts there because I definitely always put updates of what's going on. You'll know that honestly, since the beginning of this year, but particularly the past couple of weeks, I've been having a pretty rough time with my health, with my chronic health issues flaring up. There's been a lot of really bad pain days that I have not been able to even get out of bed, let alone film. So I do apologize that I've been behind more than I want to be, and I haven't been able to get as many music reactions up as I'd like lately, but we're doing our best and hoping for the best and hoping for better health going forward in the rest of this year. But right now, tonight, I'm going to be reacting to and checking out another performance by Miss Morissette. The first one, I was pretty blown away. If you guys saw my first reaction to Morissette, I was ridiculously impressed, both by what she was able to project and put out vocally, just kind of sitting there one-on-one in front of a microphone in a radio performance. And of course, with her range, it was kind of shocking what she was suddenly able to do as she went into that high operatic soprano suddenly and very quietly at one point in her song. And a lot of you guys were suggesting that I should check out some of her covers. There were a bunch of different suggestions, so there's a lot to choose from. I decided today for my second song, I'm going to check out, this is a cover that she's done to Secret Love Song. Now, this is going to be interesting for me, and the reason I picked this one is I actually don't know this song. Like, it says it's a cover song, but I don't know this song. I don't know when it came out. But somehow I missed it. I don't know if around that point in time I was busy doing other things or what was going on. But if this was like a major kind of pop hit, I don't remember it. So it's gonna be an interesting experience for me because this will be my first time hearing it. Even though it's a cover, it's new to me all the way. Yeah, and this is also another performance that she's doing for the same radio station, Wish, so I'm excited once again to see what she can do. Just her in front of this microphone, I suppose, is definitely an interesting situation, a very interesting, unique dynamic based on what I usually react to. So let's not waste any more time, let's check it out. Secret Love Song. Here we go.
When you hold me in the street and you kiss me on the dance floor, I wish that we could be like that, but can we be like that? 'Cause I'm yours.
The wish that got me again. Very pretty start to this song.
Still as the curtain falls, it'll never be enough. It's obvious you're meant for me. Every piece of you, it just fits perfectly. Every second, every thought, I'm in so deep, but I'll never show it on my face.
Little like total shift.
What can you hold in the street? What can I kiss you on the dance floor? I wish that we could be like that. Why can't we be like that? 'Cause
I'm yours. And then right back down.
Like you do when you're with me. Does it feel the same? Would you leave if I was ready to settle down?
The lyrics to this interesting.
And stay, but you know this.
She's building it up. She's using her body.
Why can't you hold me in the street? Why can't I kiss you on the dance floor? I wish that we could be like that. Why can't we be like that? 'Cause I'm yours. I don't wanna live this way. I don't wanna hide this away. I wonder if it ever will change. I'm living for a day, someday. When you hold me in the street,
You'd feel like you could feel it. I like that part.
That we could be like that. Why can't we be like that? 'Cause I'm yours. I'm yours.
Build up. Yes!
Oh,
Ooh.
can you hold me
The little, like,
in the street? Why can't I kiss you on the dance
right up into that soprano register for a second. Like, just a second.
We could be like that. Why can't we be like that? 'Cause I'm yours. Why can't I say that I'm in love? I want it shouted from the rooftops. I wish that we could be like that. Why can't we be like that? 'Cause I'm yours. Why can't we be like that? Wish we could be like that.
The little pause right there got me. Got- Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, it's already over. It was like 4 minutes and it just kind of flew by. I'm a little bit speechless again after listening to her. I've got to be honest, that felt like it just kind of flew by. I was completely sort of in the moment so much listening to it and just watching the performance coming out of her and the physicality of it. Even though she's sitting down, she's having to kind of restrain her movements. She's having to restrain her body. She's having to restrict in quite a bit in a way that you wouldn't say in a stage performance where you could just kind of let it all out and do whatever you have to do. But she's still, like, you could see just from the physicality that is there, like how much she's inhabiting this performance and how much feeling there is an emotion behind these words that she's saying. And, like, to me, I don't know, it was really kind of getting to me, especially like in the last minute or so of the song. Oh, sorry, you hear Speck is yelling because he wants attention. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the last like minute or so of the song, I was almost getting kind of choked up a little bit, which, like, the kind of heartbreak behind the song, it's like a combination. The feeling in this is like a combination of you know, the kind of intense longing of love, but also the heartbreak of, like she said, like it's a love that is not meant to be, or that is destined to end or fail. And so, I mean, I guess I should have kind of had an understanding of what the song was sort of going to be about, since it was titled Secret Love Song, but I feel like I was not prepared for the kind of the way it would sort of hit me. And I'm sure a lot of that is down to her performance. You guys that know the song or knew the song before you saw her perform it, before you heard her singing it, you'll have to let me know, like, do you feel like the original version of this kind of has the same sort of impact? Like, is the song itself that impactful? I'll have to look it up too and kind of see how I feel myself. But so to see if it's primarily, you know, her voice that's responsible and her performance, or if it's like a combination of the two, if they build on each other. So I'd be curious about that. But yeah, another obviously incredible vocal performance. You know, I was saying this last time, and a lot of you guys were echoing this in your comments on my last reaction video of, to her, that she her voice, like, and her, the way she embodies things in her performances, she's very much got that classical music diva sort of thing. You know, I think I mentioned Celine or Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston, or, you know, there's only a few women who have ever, you know, had that status, and seem to have that ability with their voice, and she's got it. She's got it. Both their voice and then their presence, the diva sort of presence, and she definitely has it. Like I said, you could feel a lot behind her performance. You could see, like, she would clenching of her fists and like digging down deep. But even in, you know, when you look at the close-up of her face when she's singing, a lot of the things, you know, the way that she's moving her mouth in order to enunciate the specific sounds, you could see the way that even coming up through her throat, the way that the muscles are moving. It's so, like, you know that a lot of those things are happening because that's what you need to do in order to necessarily produce particular sounds. But at the same time, it gives the kind of impression of the feeling. I guess this is what I'm trying to say. It seems like it comes from the emotion, not just from what you have to do in order to get the sounds out. And, you know, maybe there's something to that in the, you know, way that singers actually kind of have to embody the message of the song that they're singing in a similar way to actors and actresses have to embody the feelings and emotions of the lines that they're speaking or the characters that they're playing. That perhaps if you can't do that, if you can't, like, feel those emotions yourself and bring them out of you, then you're not going to really be able to put on a spectacular performance in the way that, you know, you might be able to get the notes out clinically or technically, but it won't give that, I guess, diva presence. It won't be so moving to people unless you can embody both physically and emotionally the feeling of the song, and she definitely does. So yeah, and just like in terms of technically, there was some really impressive stuff once again, obviously, in terms of the way that she builds up the projection of her voice when she's sitting down. But even, like, there was little tiny moments where she would go into that super high soprano register, and to such an extent that I think that people could mistake it for, like, an error in the singing, like that it, because it's so high pitched, it's almost like a squeak, but it's a specific pitch, like, and you see her going back to it a couple of times. So that's, to me, is also incredibly impressive, and I'm sure very difficult. But so yeah, so this was great. Again, I want to hear you guys' thoughts in general about everything that I've rambled on about. If there's anything I've said that struck a chord with you, and about your thoughts if you knew the original song prior to hearing the cover, you know, the comparison between the two in your perspective. And then, as always, if you have other suggestions for performances of hers, songs of hers, whether it's a cover or not, that you would like me to react to, please do leave them down below. Or if you have suggestions for other artists or groups that you want me to react to, leave those in the comment as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.